Putin Bad News American official confirms North Korea and Russia are actively negotiating an arms deal. An official from the United States National Security Council, NSC, claims that a recent visit to North Korea by a delegation from Russia is evidence of negotiations for a possible arms deal between the two countries. An official from the United States National Security Council, NSC, has reported that a delegation from Russia recently visited North Korea, suggesting negotiations for a possible arms deal. According to Yonhap news agency, National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications John Kirby said on Wednesday that the visit could be followed by high-level discussions that could lead to the provision of North Korean weapons to Russia for use in its war against Ukraine. NSC spokesperson: "We have new information, which we are able to share today, that arms negotiations between Russia and the DPRK are actively advancing." Virtual press briefing. DPRK is the official name for North Korea. High-level talks could continue in the coming months as a result of these negotiations. He continued, "Now, among these potential deals, Russia would receive substantial quantities and multiple types of munitions from the DPRK, which the Russian military plans to use in Ukraine." After Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu's high-profile visit to Pyongyang in July, suspicions were raised that the two close neighbors may be seeking to advance their military cooperation, which may explain the reported trip to North Korea by Russian officials. Millions of infantry artillery shells and rockets are rumored to have been shipped from North Korea to Russia at the end of last year. The accusation has been repeatedly and vehemently rejected by North Korea. The DPRK has made it clear they have no intention of selling weapons to Russia. However, as Kirby stated at the press conference, "We remain concerned that the DPRK continues to consider providing military support to Russia's military forces in Ukraine." Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu recently visited the DPRK in an effort to secure the sale of artillery ammunition to Russia, he said. "Our sources also tell us that after Shoigu's trip, another delegation of Russian officials visited Pyongyang to continue talks on possible arms deals between the DPRK and Russia." After letters were exchanged between Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, the NSC official noted that North Korea may also seek to provide raw materials for Russia's defense industrial base. Kirby noted that, "Export controls and sanctions are very much targeted at trying to eliminate Russia's ability to have those kinds of raw materials and basic ingredients," referring to the materials that could be provided as part of these potential deals and which would aid Russia's defense industrial base. "We will continue to identify, expose, and counter Russian attempts to acquire military equipment from the DPRK or frankly any other state that is prepared to support its war in Ukraine," he added. Kirby emphasized that Russia's offer of weapons to North Korea is indicative of the challenges it is facing. Mr. Putin's outreach to rogue regimes begs the question, why? According to his statement at the press conference, Kim will be traveling to Iran and North Korea in search of artillery shells and other raw materials with which to further strengthen his country's defense industry. Several resolutions passed by the United Nations Security Council forbid the sale or transfer of weapons to or from North Korea, and White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre has made it clear that the United States would strongly object to any such transaction between Pyongyang and Moscow. There are a number of UN Security Council resolutions that would be directly violated if the DPRK and Russia made a deal to trade weapons. We urge the DPRK to cease its arms negotiations with Russia, and we are taking direct action to expose and sanction individuals and entities working to facilitate arms deals between Russia and the DPRK, she said at a daily press briefing.